Tips for the modern person. This book is about Jesus' prayer techniques, how to have a happy marriage, how to maintain harmony in a family, how to navigate today's challenging world as a Christian, how to balance work and spiritual life, and prepare for the end times. Available on Amazon. Saint Paisios of Mount Athos. About family. Part 3. The slightest difference in the characters of the spouses contributes to create a harmonious family because one complements the other. For example, both pedals are necessary for a car, one for gas to run and the other for brake to stop in time. If a car had only a brake pedal, it would not even be able to move. Also, if it only had an accelerator, it would not be able to stop. You both stand on one foot. That is why you are not suitable for each other. I told one couple. Both of these people were extremely sensitive. When something terrible happened in their house, both of them were given an excuse to start crying and wailing. "Oh, what a terrible thing happened to us," the husband said. "Oh, this is a big trouble for us," would cry his wife. So one spouse helps the other to lose even more hope. The husband cannot encourage his wife and say to her, "Come on, what is happening to us is not that serious." I have seen such a thing in many families. Spouses of different personalities achieve better results in raising their children. One of the spouses constantly stops the children, while the other says, "Come on, give them a little more freedom." If the wife and husband only restrict their children, they will lose them, but they will also lose their children if both allow them to do what they want. If the father and mother are of different natures, their children are in balanced state. I want to say that everything in the family is necessary. Of course, spouses should not press their character traits on each other, but due to the peculiarities of their nature, they should help each other. For example, when you eat something very sweet, it will definitely make you want something salty. For example, if you eat a lot of grapes, you will immediately add salty cheese to neutralize the sweetness. Or if it is too bitter, vegetables are impossible to eat. But if it has less bitterness or acidity, it is both tasty and useful. But if an acid-loving person says that everything else should also be acidic, and a bitter lover wants everything to be bitter, the third will want salty and insist on it. In this case, they will never reach a mutual understanding. Holy Scripture says, "The husband is the head of the wife." That is, God Himself determined that the husband should be the master of the wife. The wife's domination over her husband is an insult to God. In the beginning, God created Adam, who said of his wife, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." The wife should be afraid of her husband, so she should respect him, it is said in the Gospel. And the husband must love his wife. Love contains respect, respect contains love. What I love is also a subject of my respect. That is, love and respect are not different things, but preciously the same. Yet people deviate from this divine harmony and do not understand the meaning of the words of the Gospel. Thus the husband, due to a misinterpretation of the words of the Gospel, says to his wife, "You must be afraid of me. Try and do not be surprised. If she were scared of you, she would not marry you." Some wives even ask themselves, "Why should a woman be afraid of her husband? I cannot accept such a thing. What religion is this? It is discrimination." But look at what the Holy Scriptures say. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Fear of God means respect for Him, piety, spiritual abstinence. This fear evokes divine trembling. It is something, a very sacred thing. The equality with men that some women aspire can only be justified within certain limits. Today women are equal to men at work and in terms of voting rights. That is why they are obsessed with some unhealthy spirit and think they are equal to men in everything. Of course, the souls of men and women are the same, but if the wife does not respect the husband and the husband does not love the wife, a disagreement arises in the family. In ancient times, it was considered wrong and nasty for a wife to respond rudely to her husband. But today, brazen, garrulous conversations have become very natural. What a wonderful time it was in the old days. I knew one married couple. The husband was a small-bodied, unattractive man. The wife was a beautiful Goliath-looking woman. She was able to load 1 centenar of grain alone. Once a young man of Goliath build pestered her, and this woman threw him into the other corner like a matchstick. But if you could see how obedient this woman was to her husband, how much she respected him, only in this circumstance can the family be firm and inviolable. Otherwise, it cannot survive.